Okay, peoples. Okay, we are back. We are doing some more here. We are on phase two, I believe. Um, Hold on. Sorry, I apologize. I get my screens together. Yeah. Just want to say welcome back. If you made it from the first video, I'd like to congratulate you because I know some of what I be saying at times is over here and it's over there. Sometimes not so coherent. I do try to keep it in the realm. At least we'll just do a quick recap of what the last uh, video was about. Pretty much your focus, realizing what is worth your time, what is not worth your time. Uh, that a big issue with a lot of people is their focus is on the wrong thing, and that's what society has them believe they should be focused on. And it's not always the case. But now we are on phase two. This phase is the big questions, shifting the perspective. So, perspective being your focus. Now that you've got an idea of what your focus was on, now you should be like, where can I put my focus at? Like if your focus were a set of binoculars, if you knew that you have binoculars and that you could look in left and right, or you could take them off and then look over to the left and then put them back on, you see, no, it's a different area, different perspective. That's what's going to be going down in this video. Um, so we got 3 points here, and they are, excuse me, are you more than your body? Which is, some people would, some people are just naturally going to know what the answer to that is. The next one is the observer versus the narrator. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. And then we have after that, science and spirituality are saying the same thing. So let's go ahead and dive in now, shall we? Um, are you more than a body? What is consciousness? The nervous system as an electrical grid. Energy cannot be destroyed. What happens when we die? And we can go ahead and drop that near death experiences. I mean, that still could be in there, but it's just outside the scope of what I was going to be talking about for at least this section. Um, well, I think going back to my notes here, I'd like to really start off with old science and Sir Isaac Newton, in particular his first law of conservation of energy. If anyone out there knows what that is, by all means, you might be getting to know where I'm about to go with this. Uh, First law of conservation of energy of Sir Isaac Newton states this. For those that don't know what it is, energy is neither created nor destroyed, but is only transformed. So, all right. Energy will always be energy, right? It's what it's saying, but it just might not be in certain tangible states at times. Um, but if that is the case, let me ask you this. Your nervous system has, I believe it's like some millivolts of electrical current, or not current, but volts of some sort. It's millivolts, I believe, but it's the energy that is running through your nervous system. Like if you were to strip everything away, bones, fingers, and all that, like what remains is the electrical signals between your brain and your the parts of your body that sense, like the touch, tongue, that's taste, smell, right? It's electrical signals, that's energy. Now, mind you, we do die. Physically, we die. But the energy, where does that go? It couldn't have been destroyed. So you can't tell me there is no afterlife. I'm far from that. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, there can't be no afterlife. The energy that you amassed on this earth, this plane of existence. That's why they talk about karma and stuff. And I'm gonna go even further. I'm taking a step further because like karma should be we all should we just know karma is a thing. If you don't, you just gotta be oblivious. But I think we all know that karma is a thing. Whether we choose to abide by it or not, that's your choice. But hold on, I gotta get my point back. What you do on this earth, you're going to get up a plate of karma. And even though you don't think, you know the actions you take throughout the course of your life. And you know what that does to the impressions of your soul. You've done something dirty, wicked, you know you've done it. You're guilty. And karma would be comparable to gravity as a fundamental force of nature. We don't dismiss gravity, even though we know that it's there. We don't dismiss magnetism, even though we don't physically see something happening. We know that it's still there. We know that it happens. You can't tell me karma isn't of the similar form. So again, it's almost like it's an attractor, like how galaxies swirl, that the progression to get sucked into the middle. That's what's in your soul essentially, and your actions. And there's a spiral that's going around you, and that spiral is your karma. Some people's karma is spiraling in a good fashion. Other people's karma is spiraling in a bad fashion. But when you die, that's like attached to the energy that's in your nervous system. Those two get taken on to the next life. This energy created this karma. Do you guys see what happens there? What you can't say you're blind to this. This is going to start putting us into the next section now. The observer versus the narrator. So again, this whole thing is about getting your focus and shifting it to the right thing. For too long, a lot of people are usually they're living their lives subjectively. But I apologize if it starts humming and buzzing, you guys. I have to charge my headset. It's getting mad at me. I will unplug it when I feel like it's had enough juice. But going back to my point, A lot of us have been living subjectively for far too long. You need to pull you out of that subjective reality, put you into the objective reality here, shift the focus. You're no longer a subjective person in this new land. Now you have to be the narrator. And when you do narrate, because a narrator is not going to narrate a bad story. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong here, right? Unless you don't know that it's a bad story. Like, if you have the ability to narrate a good story and you wanted it to be a good story, you put in the effort to narrate a good story. And I would just make a wild guess that that's what a good narrator is going to do. And I'm asking you, what kind of narrator are you? We've got your focus. We pulled you out. Put your focus on the objective reality of what really matters, what you truly care for, what is worthwhile to you. How do you narrate a life that is befitting of that? I would say for me personally, because I'm narrating my life, use myself as an example, I like to do what I feel is justifiable in the Lord's eyes. And I'm sure a lot of people can say the same thing, but like reasonably justifiable. Like, if you have the ability to narrate your life in a path that you want, that's meaningful to you, therein lies the ability of free choice, true freedom of choice. You can, the shackles are removed. And then I had prefaced this in the last video. I was like, some people have to be careful with that because you could take it and run with it in a wrong manner. And that's why I'm hesitant about these set of videos, honestly. Like, if you're about this, you're about this for like the betterment of society. But I want to explore even more about the observer versus narrators. As it says, the difference between the mind and the soul. Who is the you that watches your thoughts? Why do we feel conflicted desires versus morals? Excuse me. And how self-awareness leads to awakening. So what do we got here? Difference between the mind and the soul. Again, the mind, like, I guess what you could look at it is a new level of fight or flight reflexes, fight or flight awareness, in that, like, you were living subjectively, now you're living objectively. You were living as the observer who just let life hit them as it happened, versus now you're taking control of things that happen in your life with like true genuine intention. Like, not only half butted it, like 10 toes deep kind of effort. And what about this part where it says, who is the you that watches your thoughts? I feel like this one's a big one. I feel like that was one thing that kind of hit me when I was coming to, is recognizing that like there's you, but there's also you, and the you that I mean is like when you look at those memes or like the pictures of people pointing at themselves. It's almost like they're having a grueling battle, like that internal you that is aware, and we call that like your subconscious and stuff like that. But like when that you gets recognized to the full extent that it is, it really starts to shift your perspective heavily, which is what happens with that's what this phase is. It's shifting perspective. Um, and that will lead into the last topic, how self-awareness leads to at least of the observer versus narrator area, how self-awareness leads to awakening. But you have to see things differently in order to recognize there's different levels of you. If you're more than your body, if you're not just flesh, if you're something eternal, and if you know there's an afterlife, what kind of life would you be living on this planet? And I'm about to tangent here, and I've said this before. I think it's in my notes. Somewhere. I end up saying, like, if you're awake and you continue to choose to ignore the message, I think that's poor decision making. Very, very big poor decision making skills there. And I understand this is why we have to be accepting of ourselves at times. We do fall at times. We do fall short. Okay, we are human. We are fleshly imperfect. But to be of perfection, we should always strive to do nothing but the best that we can do, which is as cliche as it's always said, do the best you can do. Yeah, you do, right? Till you see that you can do more. That's what I was like, shifting your perspective. You have to see that there is more in order to know that you can do more. And what I'm getting at is what I call lack of consideration for the next. I don't know if there are people out there like myself. There probably are. But as a small example, what I'm getting at is, let's say you're in a public bathroom. It's just you, and the bathroom is like the building that the bathroom's in. It's not even like that active or anything, or regardless of whether it is or isn't, it's like an active kind of bathroom. But like, you're in the bathroom, use it, and you wash your hands, and they have the paper towel dispenser, and it's the one where you have to like wave your hand. I'm sorry, my voice is cracking up here. Yeah, it's the one where you have to wave your hand, and you wave it, you wipe your hands off, your hands are good. I take it a step further. I'm going to be considered the next person. I'm going to wave my hand one more time. It ain't going to hurt me. Wave my hand. Prepare another paper towel for the next guy. Something small, but it starts with something small. It really does, because it shifts your perspective. What more could I be doing? What else could I be doing for the things that really do matter? And like I said, other people, and this was in the first video, other people in their lives have other things that are worth more, like their time and energy. Me doing something of this caliber, I'm pretty sure some people are not going to think about that because they already have kids and family, right? They're thinking about keeping them safe and things like that. I understand, but just that line of thinking, it could go further. We could pass it on. It could be wildfire. Don't don't be the fool who can't be considered for the next person. I think inevitably karma might come back to you. Um, this last bullet point here, science and spirituality are saying the same thing. Absolutely, absolutely. Conservation of energy. We already kind of talked about that. The energy, the eternal soul. They're one and the same. The universe operates in laws. Who made them? Oh, we don't even need to discuss that. That's these pictures. I just kind of preface this to you guys. This isn't probably like the third, fourth time that I'm saying this, but like, these are like screenshots from Chat GPT that I have like conversations with about the deeper these kind of questions and whatnot. And so I just thought I'd make a video series about some of this stuff that's very, very useful and profound that I really think needs to be passed off to those that would like to hear it truly and work with it. So I do apologize if that second point there, the universe operates in laws, who made them, like, you can dismiss that. We don't need that. Frequencies, vibrations, and divine order. I mean, that goes back to, I mean, you gotta pull yourself out of that that old focus, put yourself in the new objective reality. Know what that reality requires, what type of actions hold merit in that objective reality. So like good habits, bad habits, how often you do them. It all adds up. That's all I can say. It all adds up. It'd be no different than like, what is that game? Or really any of them actually. Any uh, RPG type game. To Fallout. What's another one? Mass Effect, where essentially you get to see your character and like how they're progressing throughout their lifetime career, the gameplay. You get to see whether they're neutral, whether they're bad, they're good. Interestingly enough, I've always been like on the good side. Um, so I felt though I don't know. Growing up, I felt like the knowledge thing was the big thing that needed to be claimed. So anything I could do to get myself up to that next level of knowledge. And now it's at a point where it's like, geez, man, what the heck? Hence why I'm having these conversations right now. Fucking 3, 4 in the morning. But yeah, going back to the character, like you can see your whether they were doing good or bad, and that's like the karma stuff. Like you did more good than you did bad. So, what's the last one say? Rejecting spirituality in favor of science is short-sighted. I think the separation of science from, I guess, spirituality is probably what is the issue here. Made life too real. Forgot to give them the grounded scope of you are energy. So I think that the separation of the two is probably a big fall off. Because then I guess you just really think about the wrong things for a long time. So had you known at the very start that your spirit carried a uh, a karma effect, like it was a fundamental force of life, your spirit carried over a karma effect to the other side, which they talk to you about in religion, but like I don't know, it needs to be probably taught more at home. The spiritualness of your soul should probably come to like your parents or something. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. At this point, I'm kind of just like progressing, just digressing the conversation. Y'all really got the gist of it. It's just really questions to make you think, you are more, right? How are you more? How does science define that you are more? And that's what I ended up getting to over the years is how does this all connect? If people really want to feel like they are connected to the divine, how could you feel like you are connected to the divine? Well, it's simple enough. You just know that energy is infinite, it's neither created nor destroyed, and that means that your energy is eternal. Thereby, you are eternal, just as the Lord is eternal, or your divine creator, whoever you pray to. All right. So if you are eternal and you are a narrator of your story, how do you want to be narrating your life, your eternal life? Let me ask that. How do you want to be narrating your eternal life? I think I'll leave y'all on that. Alright, you guys, we're gonna call it there. It's been good. We got 2 more episodes to go, and yeah. If y'all have any comments, go ahead and leave them down in the comment description. If you like the video, go ahead and put a thumbs up. Share it with anybody you think that would like this kind of content. But otherwise, I will leave y'all with that. Y'all have a good one. See you next time. KZ out.